Welcome back to Turning Hard Times to Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm happy to have Patrick Highsmith with me once again. This time, Patrick is here to give us an update on FireFox Gold. It's a company that is a sponsor to the show. Really happy to have them because I think they have great prospects in their Lapland Greenstone Belt in Finland, which is really underexplored compared to many of the other greenstone belts, gold-bearing greenstone belts around the world. FireFox Gold trades in Canada under the symbol FFOX. You can buy it down here in the States under FFOXF, as I have. 109 million shares outstanding, 16 or 17 cents U.S. money right now, so it is a very low market cap company, and those are the kinds I like to look at, especially if they have good management, teams with exploration success under their belt, and companies that are able to turn exploration into wealth, and I think FireFox has very good chance of that. So minuscule market caps can really be big winners for people, and that's why I'm really happy to welcome Patrick. Thanks for joining me again, Patrick.
Thank you, Jay. It's great to be here again.
It is really good to have you. And I want to ask you, you guys recently announced, I think it was January 25th, some very nice drill results from your Mustajärvi project. And I want you to talk about that. I'm sure you'll be happy to do so. But maybe just for the sake of people that might be new to this story, give a big picture overview of what you're doing in Finland.
Absolutely, Jay. FireFox is a greenfields explorer, and as you said, these are the companies that, sure, the market caps are low as the company's pregnant with opportunity, but not a lot of results yet. But what's key about FireFox is we are exclusively focused in the Central Lapland Greenstone Belt of northern Finland, including having a Finnish CEO based in country, much of our geological team based in country, so we operate in their native language. They all speak about 3 languages, so it's not too hard for them, but nevertheless, working in their home country. And as you know, that Greenstone Belt, Jay, is rapidly becoming clear that it is the tightest held significant gold-bearing greenstone belt in the world, meaning there aren't 24 players. There are 4 junior companies and 2 majors that really control this belt, Jay, and FireFox has a huge tenement package there. On any given day, we're maybe the first or second largest tenement holder with 650 square kilometers of ground there in that belt, Jay. It's crisscrossed by incredible infrastructure with paved highways, multiple airports north of the Arctic Circle. It's a great place to work. We've been drilling all winter. We'll drill into May, and access is amazing. We don't need helicopters. And, of course, we've got great emerging discoveries. We have Agnico Eagle operating the huge Kittilä mine in the belt, and then Rupert Resources, our neighbor, of course, has delineated a 4 million ounce plus discovery at Ikkari. We'll be talking about one of our projects later that's immediately north of Ikkari. So now we know there are more than one multi-million ounce deposits in the Central Lapland Greenstone Belt, and we think that's just the start.
Well, and you're going to be, I think you are drilling on 4 different projects this year right now, and you started out with some pretty good results from Mustajärvi. Could you talk about that and then perhaps the other 3 projects that you're drilling?
Absolutely. We like to do what we say we're going to do, Jay, to the best of our ability. And we said back in the summer that we would drill all 4 of our drill-ready, fully permitted projects or targets during this program. And we've already done so. And we're just today we put out some additional news that gets us about halfway through our 9 or 10 kilometer drill program that we're in the midst of now. And the results you refer to, of course, are from our Mustajärvi property, which we really, about a year ago was a fateful time for FireFox. We had launched a financing in April, and in the first hole we found visible gold, and we announced that, and then the assays came later. And so what's happened at Mustajärvi? It's a big shear zone, a linear shear zone, Jay, that we control about 3 kilometers of, and we've now for over 2 kilometers drilled significant gold in multiple occurrences along that zone, and they include 2 holes announced last year that were over around 150 gram meters of grade thickness. So that's where you take meters of gold times grams per ton of gold. It gives you an idea of it might be narrow, but it's high grade, so that's a high grade thickness. Or, of course, it could be thicker and low grade and still be a high grade thickness. But that's a good indicator of a system sort of robustness. So at Mustajärvi, we've continued to drill, and the results that were most interesting in our last results were we've now defined that high-grade zone with a number of holes. We've actually added to that a little bit today to give us a geometry of that high-grade pod that we're most excited about, where that 150 gram meter mineralization came from. Mm-hmm. But we also went further out, another 700 meters away, to an area called the East Target, quite a ways away from the known high grade, and we hit another zone of significant gold, even as shallow as 50 meters below surface. And we've also gone into that zone again a little bit more with the results today. So multiple pods of mineralization at Mustajärvi. We always see good grade here, Jay. It might be narrow and quite high grade, or maybe it's a little thicker, but still grades above 5 or 6 grams per ton are quite the norm. Sometimes 100 grams per ton at Mustajärvi. So that's the first project, and that's the headline of today's news release. Is we've announced 3 more holes from Mustajärvi, which continue to consistently hit gold. I guess I'll just hit those headlines really quick.
Okay, sure.
What we did around the high-grade zone, our mutual friend, Dr. Quentin Henney, and I talked about these systems, and one of the pieces of advice he had for us was, stay close, figure out the geometry of that high-grade zone. Because if you go too far away, you get sort of greedy. You might lose it. And so we stepped out 10 and 20 meters to either side of this section where we've hit the high-grade. We did hit the zone again. Not spectacular in the sense that the average grades on these intercepts are 8 to 9 grams per ton, but still very nice given we're only 140 meters below surface. So we announced a couple of intercepts today, 1.9 meters of 8.96 grams per ton, which included a meter of 14.5 grams per ton. And then in the other hole, again, at the same elevation, right where we kind of expected it, on the other side of this high-grade pod, I think the best intercept in that hole was, about 0.6 meters of 6 grams per ton. So when we put those together, Jay, the real news is we can measure that high-grade zone now. We know that it strikes to the northeast, and it plunges off to the northeast as well at about sort of a 30-degree dip. So you could imagine that gives us an idea of where to drill it next.
Right.
So, and then the next headline of this news release is where we're going next at Mustajärvi, because we went out to the East Target, which is 700 meters away, and we actually are testing a brand new drill rig out there, Jay, and that rig is mostly for base of till sampling, so it's not usually used as a core rig, but it's a hybrid rig, and it allows us to drill shallow core holes just to test the bedrock a little bit, and we did that in the East Target, and the hole was only 20 meters deep, but what's spectacular is where we tested this thing, we hit a 4.4 meter zone at average 6.35 grams per ton, and it's only 13 meters below surface.
Wow.
It had an interval in there, 0.8 meters of 25.9 grams, Jay. So now we know our East Target comes even closer to the surface. This is the 4th hole that's hit some gold over there, and it's wide open. And so Mustajärvi will see some more drilling, one more round before we wrap up in May. We will return to Mustajärvi, and we'll put another couple of holes in that East Target, which is wide open, and we'll also test some new targets a couple of kilometers away back to the southwest. So Mustajärvi is a name people have heard. They're even learning how to pronounce the Finnish because we've been drilling some high grade there, Jay. And that's the main headline in today's news release.
So it looks like you got the real scale there then for potentially something significant.
Yeah, it's a good point and a good observation, because we in the community debate, is narrow high grade, how valuable is narrow high grade? I mean, we'd all like to have 100 meters of 8 grams as the Rupert guys drilled a couple of months ago. But that's in a known discovery where they already knew there's 4 million ounces of gold. So, fantastic ripping intercepts like that. However, this kind of grade, only 150 meters below surface, has potential, and we've got 3 kilometers of this structure, and by no means is it all tested. Only about 9,000 meters of drilling in total on this project, Jay. So while we've got an emerging discovery, we think the potential is there, particularly with the grade.
All right. Well, you've got 3 more projects that you're drilling now. If you could quickly sort of describe those and what we might be looking forward to with those other 3.
Yeah, two quick updates from today's news release. We went to our huge Yesio project, which adjoins our friends at Orion Resources, more to the southeast of the belt. And we drilled some base of till anomalies there, some geophysical anomalies there. And frankly, geologically, we're pretty happy with some of those results, but we did not, in this early stage drilling, hit significant gold. The two targets are Utsamo, which is on the Yesio project. There we drilled some base of till anomalies, saw some pyrite, saw some alteration, a little bit of anomalous gold and geochemistry, but nothing significant yet, very early days. That's a huge area. And then south of there, an area called Saitavara, where we drilled some decent gold last year, a couple meters of over 3 grams. We tested the continuation of that structure, and we didn't find it in that direction. So we got other targets to test on both of those areas that'll come, and they're big projects. But I think the most exciting one, Jay, is, and that people are watching again, is called Sarvi. We like it because it's easy to pronounce, and it's immediately north, as I said. It's immediately north of Rupert and B2's discovery, we have about 8 kilometers of the trend there, and we've gone into Sarvi, and we've just completed. I think we're up to about 5 or 6 holes there now at Sarvi, and what we're drilling is actually we're up to a grand total of 9 holes now at Sarvi. I just checking a map there. And what we've done is we've done base of till sampling over a large area because this is mostly a swamp, Jay. So we're relying on geophysics to look for patterns coming through that are similar, maybe coming up from the Rupert property to the south, and also this east-west trend. And we've done this large area. Now we've crossed over 2,000 base of till samples on this project. I think Rupert, Jay, has collected over 16,000 base of till samples. So this is an intensely used exploration technique that we use there in Finland. And from the base of till, you get basically a sample at the top of that bedrock, analyze it for gold and multi-elements, and we're following up on anomalies in gold and bismuth and tellurium and geophysical anomalies that we see in the data at Sarvi. So those holes that's 9 holes that we've completed. Many of them are fairly shallow. A couple would be in the 250 to 300 meter range of depth. And these are in various stages of preparation and off to the lab. And so that's our news flow, Jay, as we go into spring and into early summer, will be the results from the much awaited drilling at Sarvi.
So investors certainly have something to look forward to in the short term, even before you start getting drill results from the current drilling that's going on. I guess a lot to look forward to then, Patrick. Anything else you'd like to sort of sum up with?
Well, I think mainly just, stay tuned. The area around Rupert's discovery is really hot and heavy, and FireFox is one of the largest players there. In this huge portfolio, we do have some projects that are a little bit less our focus, and we may be able to get a joint venture done with a larger partner there on one of those. But stay tuned, because we'll be drilling right through May with good news flow into the summer, and then we just roll right into the summer field season to get ready for drills to return in September or October. So finally, we're out of the sort of winter doldrums, and we've got enough samples in the lab that news flow will pick up, and we look forward to the rest of our drill results and a busy summer.
Well, absolutely. And a very low cap company has lots of room on the upside, no doubt about it, with successful drill results, which I'm fairly confident we're going to see some, at least going forward. Patrick, thank you so much for being with us again, and we'll look to keep up with this story going forward into the future.
Thank you, Jay. We'll be here to update you.
I look forward to it.